Today's adventure brings me just over the Florida state line, just a few miles, like 3 or 4 miles over the Florida state line, to Kingsland. Welcome everyone to a cold, brisk, just over the Florida state line into Georgia, morn. Doing all right there?
A little chilly.
We're gonna be going indoors though, to the Star Trek Enterprise recreation, one of the 2 in the US. This is the one that's in the South. There's another one in New York.
New York.
I've never been to one. Have you ever been to one?
No, this is my first time going on the Enterprise.
I know, it's exciting.
I'm so excited.
Based on the Star Trek, the original series, TOS
Yes.
for short, is that what they call it?
Yep.
TOS, and also was used in a new recreated show online.
Called Star Trek Continues.
Star Trek Continues. This is gonna be pretty cool. And remind me again who is gonna be giving the tour today for us.
Vic Mignogna, who plays Captain Kirk in the Star Trek Continues show, and also Chris Doohan, who is the son of James Doohan,
Who played Scotty.
who plays Scotty.
Also, this is Greg's Game Room, by the way. I introduced you as Greg. He has a YouTube channel also. Check out his channel, Greg's Game Room. All right, I'm inviting you to join me and Greg as we board the Enterprise. Are you excited or are you just warming your hands up because it's cold?
A little bit of both.
Join me and Greg. Shall you? I'm already seeing the hand signal for live long and prosper. Also the sticker of the neutral zone. There's quite a few other people already here because we got the second time slot of the day at 10:30. This is the 9 o'clock time slot.
What does that say on the side?
This says, can I turn it upside down? It says Kirk's chair. Take a look at that. That's awesome.
We haven't even seen it yet, but I'm already excited.
So these must be like interchangeable pieces they use inside. Yeah, if there wasn't any signage up, you would never know what was back in behind these walls. Obviously there's a big banner here. Where's the entries? I think that's the entry point right there. Just to show in correlation from Central Florida where we're both at. So we had to drive up this direction, crossed over the state line. It's just a little north of Jacksonville. You can see it's right on the state line. Like a parade of cars pulling through here. All the same type of automobiles. It's not often this area, you know, I would say Florida, even though we're on the Georgia-Florida line, gets this kind of temperatures. It's nice, but it is brisk and cool. 42 degrees here in Kingsland. And even though we are a little on the chilly side, this is for posterity, Greg, right here. I know you're excited, but I think of friends of mine that love Star Trek. You're in the top percentile. In fact, you kind of got me into it a little more, and I had seen all of them, and recently, a couple years ago, I bought the Blu-ray set, and I watched all of them in order from start to finish.
Jim out here? I'm Jim. Red. Okay.
Okay, brought us into this little room. There's a lot of autographs over
I
here.
didn't think you'd be here. I got 15 now. Okay. We have a couple of...
Take a look at all this.
Okay. So you're a little bit early. And good morning to you too.
Yeah, that's right.
She's got her car wired for sound. So we have that car has radio. Somebody
Figure it out.
Shatner right
going to a
here.
place called Steamers on the Gulf.
Kind of interesting though how you can see, you know, it's all trickery because it's inside this building, but the set is over here. I think I'm most excited about going under the bridge, obviously. What are you most excited about seeing? The engine room?
I just want to see the whole thing.
You see all of it?
Yeah.
You see Shatner over here?
It's on Shatner. It's like a complimentary standee to the one I have in the game room.
Yeah, you have a Shatner in the Greg's Game Room.
It's the from Star Trek 6, but this one is from the original series.
And I was looking over there. Obviously, there's the show. This was in Mirror, right?
Yep, that's called an agonizer.
You were just watching that in the hotel room.
Yeah. Communicator, phasers.
Remember you bought a phaser at Dragon Con at Recreation.
I did. I haven't put it together yet.
Still got it in the box.
Still working on it. I forget the company that did the model kits for the Enterprise, and they needed more stock. They needed more things to sell, so they created the shuttle, and then they ended up building it. They put up the money to build it for the actual show.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
But it started off as like a marketing thing to sell more stuff. Here are the rules of conduct. Be respectful of the sets. Absolutely no food or drink. Watch your step at all times. Take as many selfies as you like. Feel free to post them. Ask questions. And you may exit and return to the studio as many times as you like. No smoking. And most importantly, get them triples.
No tribbles.
Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for braving the brisk Saturday morning weather. But that's cool. I recognize you. An active film studio. You're basically standing backstage at a soundstage. It started in 2010 with a group called Starship Farragut. They were in a smaller location down in St. Mary's. That building got sold. Vic Mignogna, who is the executive producer and starred in Star Trek Continues, was working with them at the time. And what Vic did was take the blueprints from Paramount in 1966 and scope out where everything would have been at Paramount. And that's what you're going to walk through. So it's really one of the closest approximations to what you would have seen had you been at the studio in 1966. And when you give me the cue, the doors are going to open. Door. Just everybody walk right in.
I lost my husband. The Klingon.
Oh man, look at this. Oh, oh my God.
Welcome to engineering. You notice we have some sounds playing in the background to make you think you're on a starship. When we film, we don't have any sound because that has to go in afterwards. We don't want it to disrupt what we're filming. One of the first reactions we get when people walk in is it's smaller than it looks, or that you imagine. And it's actually built to scale. And we'll talk about how we know what the scale is and how you calculate all that in a little bit. The warp core was built through a process, just like it was in the original series. The process is called force perspective. And if you're not familiar with what that is, as you go further and further back, items get smaller and smaller. And it gives that illusion of depth. And if you look at it from back here or through a camera, you might say it goes back 20, 25, maybe even 30 feet. It's actually 12 feet. And that's the way it was in the original series. There is another location that's a museum, and they have an engineering section, but their ceilings didn't go that high. So we have basically what you would have seen in the original series. We design it in whatever size you want out of styrofoam. That whole ceiling is styrofoam. If that ceiling were to come down, you and I could probably carry it out. The crystal would go. The crystal is now somewhere underneath. But, so this is where the crystal would go. So when you see them fooling with it, this is what they did. And then to finish the effect of the future, they put these round spheres in to make it look like it was futuristic. Now, I found these because I needed something that would stand up to the heat and humidity of the summer. And some of you may recognize these as nothing more than garden decorations. So everybody, this is Vic Mignogna.
Hi everyone.
Woo!
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to our playground.
And with Vic is Chris Doom.
Give it up for Chris.
think it's a pleasure to be here.
You're in his club now. You're in his clubhouse now.
Just don't touch anything. You know, the only place that we shot scenes where I got injured. And not many other places. Never got injured on the bridge, but there was a scene, and it was a very intense. For those of you who haven't seen Star Trek Continues or haven't seen this episode, it was a scene where I'm talking to Uhura, and it's a very intense scene, and you know, I mean, things are looking bad, and you know,
And Uhura was standing here, and they were holding on to this.
You look exactly like.
I know. Squint a little bit. You never know.
Yeah. But anyway, so you know, I'm holding on to her and holding on to this, but the ship is moving, so I'm literally making it look like it is. And we did this scene many, many, many times, and I don't know how many years ago that is, but my finger has been numb ever since. I heard some nerves in there.
He was gripping this
So hard, and not even realizing that I was doing it. And then secondly, trying to go up those stairs 20 times, take after take after take. And look how steep those things are.
Okay, so the thing I usually ask is, who knows what that did in the original series? Because it was in the original series. Anybody? The answer is nobody knows because they never used it. But it was there.
So we literally had scaffolding here, and the camera was up on the scaffolding, shooting down to get that aerial view. We're going to come over to the dilithium chamber, and I want you to pretend to check something here, and then I want you to go to the left. Okay?
Okay.
So now that's the movement. So where you can. You could put a lot of places, couldn't you? You could take a shot of him here, and then he go ahead and walk, and then he walks out of the shot, right? And then you would cut to another shot. You can set your camera up here, right? Maybe here. That might be nice, right? You see all that nice behind it. Or maybe you might want it here. Or maybe you want to see that behind it. And so when he walks by, the camera swings around. And now you've got this shot.
Oh,
There you go.
Do me a favor and stop at the red line, please. 4x8, 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 4x8. They're everywhere. As soon as you know that this is 4 feet by 8 feet, you can calculate how wide the corridor is. You can calculate how many of these panels before this hallway, which is exactly how you can know what the spatial dimensions and measurements are. The plate on the wall is Sickbay. So why don't you lead us on in there, around to the left. Over here, guys. Go on all the way in, guys. Make room for everybody. Everybody has to go to Sickbay. Now, the best place to get the greatest picture is right back here where you guys are. So if you get a chance, all you guys over there, come back here and just turn around and look in, because this is the classic shot that you remember of Sickbay. The wide shot was back here. Notice this wall is not here. So you can be out here looking in. Now, a couple of favorite things about this room. One of my favorite things is this fabric. And I know that's probably kind of weird. They used it for the beds. They used it for seat cushions. They upholstered chairs with it. They even used it as a tablecloth once for underneath a meal that they were having. They liked the look of it. Nice, sparkly. Apparently, future means sparkle. And this device would read their body, and it would display their vital signs on the monitor above. What a cool idea, right? Well, they couldn't do that in the 60s. They just thought that would be a cool thing for the future. But you guys remember these little arrows, right? Would fluctuate with the different readings. You know how they did that? The same way they did the doors. There's a guy behind that wall moving those little arrows up and down by him.
Is Spock sick?
He is. He had his hand chewed off by a dog, so he's here in the sick bay to get fixed up.
Greg brought his little figurines. Good idea.
Really?
And I said to him, I said, please, why chairs back here? Be more comfortable and so anyway, going back to like 2008, J.J. Abrams asked me to be in Star Trek 2009, right? And I had no idea what I was going to do. And we see this, we're in this hallway with this cabinet, and my brother says, let's see what's in here. So he gets up on my shoulders, and he opens it. All those triples. Remember that scene with Captain Kirk? So somebody had to reset that. All those triples had to be put back. So we are scared to death. We run back to the shuttlecraft.
Trying to save money, right? You know your budget's going to be crazy, so you're trying to save money. So if you're a production facility in Los Angeles, you have plenty of lights laying around. So they just repurposed them by using them here. Now the good news is they still exist. The bad news is they're very expensive. And again, you know, just like with the transporter room, there were certain things that still exist, but they're really hard to find. And if you find them, they're expensive because they're rare. Every room we go in, you're going to see some of them. They used them everywhere. Well, if you're trying to recreate these sets, you need to use them too. But this technology was very common back then, but it's not anymore. But we know what they were, so what do? We did the same thing that we did with the lenses. We bought a couple of the real ones, and then we took them apart and made little molds of them. And now they don't work, right? But they don't need to, because it's a TV show. If I'm doing my job and I'm walking around, if I'm playing Kirk and I'm walking around the briefing room and I need to call Sulu, Kirk to bridge. Are you looking here?
No.
No, you're looking here.
Overinflate repair time estimate. Like you knew.
I'll let him answer that.
Of course. Absolutely. And then we get it done in half the time.
Right.
Right? That's what made a miracle working a lot.
Under promise, over deliver.
What's that? Oh, yeah, exactly.
Under promise, over deliver.
There you go.
You always do that in engineering.
Oh, one last thing to tell you in this room. You noticed probably when you walked in that there are no chairs.
Yeah.
Well, there are no chairs for the same reason there probably wouldn't have been chairs had we all gotten on buses and gone to Desolate. Because when you're trying to save money, you don't build 25 chairs. You build 10 and you move them around. We've been on this side of the corridor, but we didn't need those things. We needed a lot of other things. So we'll hop in here real quick. This is that swing set area I was telling you about, and currently, if you notice the sign as you walk in, it's configured to be auxiliary control.
Trying to get all the detail of all this. This is so awesome.
Yeah.
I know we have a big group. I believe there's room for everyone.
Really?
Yeah. In Doomsday Machine, Kirk is at this spot and he says, "Not with my ship, you don't." Yep.
But it's not black. See, we changed a little bit, just a little bit. Made it white, put the ships that were still in service on the screen, and then she had a desk right here with chairs on either side that Spock and Kirk sat on. And we put a wall over top of all this stuff, so you couldn't see it. A few feet, you see them all down the corridor, you'll see them in every set. Those are for mounting lights, and they give us the perfect angle
Because I was like,
Okay, now we can't leave. I love you.
Okay.
We can't leave because I have to tell you this story. She was asking about kicking Lou Fritten in the chest, right? Okay, so here's how this happened.
okay.
This happened right here. Okay, so Lou was over in makeup, getting green, right? And so we decided we were going to practice it. We were going to set it up, right? Make sure we were all ready for when Lou comes on set, right? So the camera was here. Okay, and it was a wide shot, and may I borrow you? Lou was here.
I'm green too.
He's green.
Okay, and then we had a mattress on the floor right here, and then I was over here. He threw me across the room, and I get up and I run and I jump sideways, right? Kick him, and then I land on the mattress, right? Okay, that's how it was supposed to work. That's how it was supposed to work. So we were going to test it. We had a fight choreographer on set, a friend of mine, and he was going to be Lou. So we were going to test the kick. I was very excited. I was so excited to do this. He had a big pad, like a catcher's breastplate, and he was standing there holding it, and I was supposed to kick it to test. So we shot the test. So the camera's rolling. I get up, I run and jump, and kick him, and he goes flying against this wall and down. But that wasn't the worst part. He was fine. I came down on that mattress, and the mattress was nowhere near thick enough.
Oh my.
I came right down on my hip on this concrete floor. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. That hurt. So they went and got me some pad to put in my pants on my hip, and they got another second mattress, doubled it up. But the choreography guy, the fight guy, comes up to me and he goes, dude, you can't kick Lou like that. He's 70 years old, and he's had hip surgery. Like, if you kick him, he'll go down and he might not get up. Like, it could hurt him. I'm like, well, crap. I wanted to kick him. Like, what the heck? So Lou shows up, he gets in place, and this is what we did. Camera's rolling, I run, I jump, and I extend to kick him, but I don't actually kick him. We cut the camera, then the camera repositions. This is Lou, right? Lou's standing here, like this direction. We set the camera up right here on a close-up of Lou's chest. I took my boots off and put them on my hands. And went. And all Lou had to do was take one step back when I hit him. Do it. Step back. Boom. And in the close-up,
And he goes out of
his
frame.
momentum starts moving backwards, right? And then one final shot. Camera sets up here. Lou gets down on the floor, sits down, and then on action he goes, ugh, and falls into the shot. And when you cut those three together, it looks like I kicked him and he went down.
That's epic.
Never touched him.
Oh man, how awesome.
Come on into
Quarters.
Scotty's quarters, but he's sleeping.
Sorry.
Here, it's even better here. No, lay back down here. That's what I was gonna do. I was just gonna lay it. Now you know you're in Scotty's quarters.
Now it's green, laddie. Laddie, it's kind of blue, actually.
Come on in, everybody. Make room. Good. Slide around there for me, if you would.
Sorry, I gotta make my bed here.
Yep, it's everywhere. Or Spock's quarters, because this is everybody's room. You are standing in every character's bedroom. Because all you do is you just change it up a little bit. You build one room and then you just redecorate it. You just dress it. And so, I love that episode where Kirk shrank down.
I'm only an episode now. It's the Kirk
I
and
believe
Spock
you
get
are.
shrunk.
Can I
Please
take a
don't
picture?
put Kirk and Spock in
Is that
bed.
all right? I just love how you had that in your book.
There were supposed to be dozens of these access conduits all over the ship. I mean, it was a big ship. And there were a lot of these, supposedly. But again, trying to save money. You have the lighting, or you move a couple of pipes around, and you just make it a difference.
That is awesome.
Any questions?
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Real quick. On the show, you could walk down about 4 feet.
Yes.
In this spot.
Yes.
I take it the entire set was lifted up
Yes.
in the air.
Yes. Well, in the original soundstage, yeah, it was like all on platforms, and you could go below the floor there. Same with there, I believe, with that alcove there. Got it? You can't see the end of the. You can't see the end of the.
You can run endlessly down the corridor.
Yeah.
Perspective is
Exactly. And of course, if you think about the saucer of the Enterprise,
That's a
kind of
natural
matches.
shape, but it's logistically purposeful too.
Yes.
Because if it has a beginning and end, then you have to have
Very well thought out.
perspective.
Yep. We're going to let our special guest star, Chris, take you into the big enchilada.
Come on in. You can see my captain's chair. Enter, but feel free to walk all the way around, guys.
Oh man. Oh. Wow. Oh my God. Oh. Unbelievable.
Your first time here?
Yeah, this is awesome.
Isn't that something?
This is like blowing my mind. Wow.
Feel free to move around, guys. No place is off limits over here.
Okay, so here's where Spock would always sit, obviously.
Now,
Is this beautiful or what?
For those of you who don't know,
I always like how Spock would always be down here doing his work. Uhura would be over here.
I wasn't demoted, I quit. Is this beautiful? Did you ever imagine when you were a little kid that you would
Oh my God.
stand on the bridge of the Enterprise and walk through the
Look
corridor?
at this.
Step on the transporter platform?
Unbelievable.
Make room for everybody. Come on in.
And I come out, and I just turn around and I sit in Scotty's station, and I didn't have a line at that point, but I just sort of watered up, looking around, going, "This is exactly what my dad was doing." And I'm looking through my dad's eyes at what he was doing 50 years ago, and it was just such a surreal moment. And I still think about that to this day. That the first day, I had seen the set from over there and done this and then that, but to actually do a scene, that first scene right here, was just a surreal moment for me.
This is really a special treat that he's here this weekend, but I often tell the tours about the first time that our very first episode we shot, he and I were behind those doors waiting for them to open, for them to call action, and actually I was directing, so I called action from back there. But they were all set up out here waiting for us to walk out, and he and I were standing back there waiting for those doors to open, and just looked at each other, and here he is looking amazing in his perfect uniform, and we're about to walk onto the bridge.
I look better than you, really.
You did. It was surreal. Here's Chris, following in his dad's footsteps 50 years later, and me 50 years later, playing my childhood hero, and how much, like the word that comes to my mind always is daunting. It was just incredibly daunting.
And I gotta say something too. It's like when Vic first approached me to do this, initially I refused. I just thought, I'd seen other fan films, and then we went out to lunch one day, and he said, "No, this is different. We're getting, we have top professionals. Everybody's, and almost everybody that we started with, we ended with.
Yeah.
Which is, you don't see that with other productions, right? And so we said yes, and then when we did that first vignette, and it was over, it just got a lot of hits on YouTube, and it just went well, and from that point on, it was go. And now I look back and I thought, because it's really changed my life. It has. I mean, think of the places we've gone to Australia together. We've done Germany, England. We've done all of these together. And the travel and just meeting all the people and meeting all the, you know, seeing all my dad's fans and hearing the stories. But I would have never been able to do that if it wasn't for Vic putting this series together and asking me to be Scott. And I want to thank you. Yeah.
My pleasure.
It was great.
Well, you were. People often ask me, how did you get Chris doing? Like, because he's awesome. He's just a great guy.
I just, you know, I couldn't, the pay was so good.
Yeah. The conversation I had with every single person that I brought into this show was, now, you're not going to make any money. So, you know that going in. You're going to be a part of something very special, and I think you're going to be a part of something you can be proud of for years to come. But this is not a money-making venture. This is not a profit-making venture. None of us made any money. In fact, you don't even want to know how much I spent. Ugh. But that's not the point. The point is that we created something that we love, and to pay tribute to this show that meant so much to us. And it's been incredibly gratifying that so many people have enjoyed it as much as they have. The last, real quick, because we need to get to the new tour that's starting, so we're going to let you guys pick all the pictures you want, hop in the captain's chair. Here's the chairs, by the way, the chairs we talked about. And even these chairs are nothing but cheap little plastic molded chairs.
I gotta say, this is just awesome. This is just so dang awesome. I just want to go here to the elevator. It's just so accurate.
You know what? Yeah. That's what I'm here.
I literally, because the floor was starting to look down.
Good when I first saw you. The camera
So
makes it
like
look bigger.
So you think that's as long as it was in the original series when Spock would get down there and like pull that down all the time and work
In fact,
on
if you
it?
go around the back, you can see where they recreated that.
Oh, really?
I totally forgot to tell you guys, because I'm really dumb. We just released 2023 Star Trek Continues calendar.
Yes, more signatures over here from some of the people who worked in here on fan films. This is the Dreadnought Dominion.
No, not really. I would love to, but I wish it were my fault. If they asked me, I'd be there. Okay, let me see. Okay. I know you are.
So for the longest time, I always wondered how they did it. So basically, it's one printed image, and then there's an image behind it. It would have been a scale model of I don't remember which enterprise, but it was one of them.
It's like I feel like I'm really on the show right now. You gotta like walk, almost like you can't obviously walk out of here, but this is what it would be like. Shatner and Kirk would like walk out. This is like would be the view, just like that. I like that they've added this. They've added the screen over there too.
Yeah.
So if I'm remembering this correct, you got Uhura here, Spock over there,
Uhura's here, Spock's over there.
and of course Shatner here, Kirk, and Sulu was always here, and this is always kind of mix and match, right?
Yeah, but mostly Chekhov.
Oh, that's right, Chekhov when came in, right?
And then over here is where Scotty would work from. This is like the auxiliary engineering.
There's Scotty right over there.
Yeah, Scotty's here.
This is a childhood dream come true. Although we're not in space.
Want to get a picture of the chair?
Yeah.
No, when the first time I walked in, Captain says, there's something on the screen.
Exactly.
You turn it on. Then we have a remote control to handle the turret alerts.
Yep.
So, and actually some of what's in engineering, that control panel, also all of those lights turn on and off from the buttons. Everything else is fake.
How's it feel to sit in that chair? Lifelong dream?
Yeah, I was gonna say it is a lifelong dream to feel like you're Captain Kirk. You've seen him a million times on the show, and to be in this situation is it's pretty mind blowing.
Live here. I always wonder what it'd be like to sit here. Now I know.
How does it feel?
I feel like William Shatner. I look like him too.
The box, the art book, the behind the scenes, and some of the stuff behind the scenes as far as the videos go. Awesome. There's a lot of things I didn't know. Yeah, look.
And we have some.
Because I know last you and I talked, it had to come out.
I think it's about maybe out of
All of the, I hate to say that, but it is, that's like they're all. The doors are going to
That is pretty dang cool. Chekhov, Sulu. Kirk.
I grew up with Ricard, but I found my love.
I don't even want to leave here. I'm just trying to really get the whole effect of this place. Oh man, I'm on the Enterprise right now.
Okay.
I can sit in the chair.
That's even better.
Just like this.
Four shots.
Perfect. Thank
You
you.
don't want the composition coming out.
This is my original Nego from when I was a kid.
I have mine at home too. I love it. Let me see the picture.
You only bring up the brightness. Turn it off like save battery.
I have to go sit in the chair. Check off.
Okay. If you want to go around, put up there. Okay. So I got stuff to give to people too.
Right.
Jennifer and what's his face? Mark? No, that was the way.
I gotta do it in all the spots. I think that about covers it. Oh, Scotty's spot. You follow me over there. I think I about covered all the main spots, right, Greg?
I believe you did.
Yeah. So I got Sulu, Chekhov, Mr. Spock, Uhura, Scotty, and Kirk. Nailed it.
Think about what was that? I totally botched that line. You're gonna say, you ready? Yeah. Take us out of orbit, Mr. Wu.
Yes, Captain. That looks pretty cool.
Yep.
Can you like see me?
Yep.
All right. That's really for posterity. Dream come true. So Greg was saying to kind of look around here. So where Spock's always working on the computer over here, they have like the little set section down here. That's pretty cool. So they have it behind this section, right? But really, like, wasn't it? It was over there on original
The way they
series.
could have filmed it, it could have been.
Yeah.
It made it look like they were opening that one, but they
True.
could have actually been doing this one.
Good point,
doing all
yeah.
the work in.
Matt from Ancient City.
Good point.
And he's doing another.
You see anything in there? You getting any knowledge there, Spock? Mr. Spock?
There's a nebula, Captain. We have to avoid it.
We got some T-shirts over here.
Have to be a contortionist to get back in there.
Oh, the signature? Okay.
Yeah, because
Oh wow, I didn't even see this.
Oh, yeah, the Jeffrey suit.
now if you want a little bit behind the scenes, you go in the turbo lift and look to the left, and you'll see the camera platform.
Really?
Yeah, up here is where the camera platform, where you put camera so you can shoot down to get that iconic
yeah.
shot.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Ah, that's cool. And then here's the rope to the doors.
I enjoyed your little trip down there to go see Hemingway's house.
Oh, and the key. Yeah.
I've been there, God, that was in the 70s when I was in the Navy. And of course, they still talk about the penny.
The penny, yeah.
The last red.
Last red cent.
Yeah.
That's great.
Now, these pipes can be changed around. These here can be changed around and make it look like a Neville Jeffries tube. The stairs are steady, and these two.
So they're solid. These are solid.
Everything else,
You don't want to stand on.
no, you don't want to grab if you're falling.
Yeah.
Because it'll come down with you. And yes, we do have GNDN. Stands for goes nowhere,
Goes
does
nowhere, does
nothing.
nothing.
And they had that, the original series had that too as well. You'll see that in the original series.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So whatever.
Move that chair.
Well, I'll probably forget it.
And you'll probably go to sleep. Put it in the
Wait for
car.
rig now.
That's a good idea.
Then you won't forget it.
Is that
Yeah, my BMW.
Because we know you're getting old.
is that
My
his
BMW
hand?
is right here.
Is that Lou's handprint right there?
No, it's not. One of the PAs said we had the Hulk, we had to have a green handprint.
Yeah, that's
Unfortunately,
great.
you can't get to John Delancey and Ann Lockhart's because they're up by the front, but they're back behind stuff right now. Colin Baker's is around back behind back set as well.
Wow.
We're not climbing up the Jeffries tube.
Exactly.
I'm just happy to look at
You
it.
saw the picture of Aaron Gray,
Yeah, he showed us that.
and he showed you where it was taken at.
He did. Yeah, he showed that. Walked over to it.
Yeah. This set has been used. So, I mean, it's been the Commodore's quarters when it was that. They put flats there. Lolani's quarters. Tales of the Neutral Zone had an episode we made at the cargo bay.
Yeah, he was saying this is the
Dreadnought
biggest area, so this is the one that's changed out the most.
Dreadnought Dominion's done Romulan bridge. For two different types of ships.
That's a Doomsday Machine from a Starship Farragut episode.
Dan's been here from almost the beginning. He's been boom up for
Oh.
Farragut, continues.
And I helped
Really?
build.
do.
In fact, I was allowed to lift as a paintbrush, so.
So you painted all this?
Here, yes. I help paint, but still.
This whole place is awesome.
Well, that's the luxury. It takes so long.
Where's the camera hole? You said there's camera holes in here?
Yeah, there's camera holes behind.
Oh, these.
Yeah, so actually behind there,
Oh,
where
yeah.
the camera back there.
Oh, that's the bridge right there. Back there.
Yeah, and that's the way they did it.
so
back then.
so they can get
Yeah.
the depth of field because those cameras were huge.
Right.
And we still do it too.
Yeah.
And there's another one behind the painting on that side
Oh, that's over here.
because they only made one cruise quarters. So when it's Kirk, the desk is over here, the bed's over there. When it's Spock, it's reversed, and they put the curtain up.
No kidding.
And they just use that door instead of this door.
Wow.
And I think Spock's quarters have like.
Yeah, the curtain's over here.
We also had the statue, the Voodoo statue, and we actually did recreate that Voodoo statue with the urn in front of it. And we had all these little color-changing LEDs inside to simulate the flame. And it was on a wall. And then
Ginger people walk right out the door with it.
And then you see the scene in this little stinger reel there of Spock at his desk with the little flame, the little lamp. Right. The lamp had no reservoir. It just had a wick in it. And the wick was soaked, put it in, and we had about 35 seconds of flame
Well,
before it
the
went
studio is available for rent if you have a story.
Well,
I know a boom op and a sound guy if you can
Hi.
arrange it during the time frame of when they're available. This helm here is a recreation of the original pilot helm from The Cage.
No way.
This is actually was done for a production called Exeter Trek. And this is a picture of it on set for Exeter Trek, and these are actual screenshots from the original pilot. You know, Jeffrey Hunter. There's
Yeah.
Leonard
Okay.
Nimoy. So you can see how close it was. It also doubled as the transporter control. You take it out of the stand. There's pipes that make it look like legs. And then you change out the astrogator and put a black
Yeah, that
panel
is
in
awesome.
there. And these do turn on. Now, this one's got, I need to change the battery on that one. But they do turn on.
That's great. To get the lights working again?
Well, they had it on batteries back in the original days, and of course the battery compartments corroded so bad I had to eliminate them. They're on electric now.
Man, that is just so cool. Is there any particular one I should stand on?
Well, if you stand on that one right by your foot, that's the one Nichelle Nichols was on.
Oh, okay. Safe to stand on?
Yes. And then if I actually moved to that one over there, that's the one Lou Ferrigno's in.
This is the one Ferrigno's?
Yeah, so if it holds him, it'll hold you.
Okay.
Underneath, there's the real thick plexiglass that was provided by Grant and Mahara when they tore down Robot Wars. Actually, let's go here, so I got some sturdiness here.
You're standing where Nichelle stood.
Fix the ring. Now you're standing where Nichelle Nichols was.
And Ferrigno.
And Ferrigno, yes.
That's great.
Now if you want your faces seen, step back into the ones behind you. So you have some light on your faces because you're so shadowy.
Here?
Yeah. See, now I can actually see your faces because of the shadowing up front. You were so dark. Now if I want... Let's go back here so I can get the... I don't want top of set. All right. Now we've got the council in shot 2. Good.
That's great. Thank you.
See, now you got all this lighting in here as well as that, and then see your face.
Yeah.
Because, now stand back there for a second. And you'll see what I'm talking about with my face is so dark.
Oh, yeah.
Now, but if I go back here where you were, see how it all brightens up?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, that's why I moved you back. Only because we got to get the light bulb changed on that one.
Wow.
So they're on. The bulbs are on order, but.
Oh, that's in the neutral. Oh, the Romulan control. Oh, yeah. That's when all the when all the roof is falling in on them constantly, and the thing's shaking, and all the dust and everything. They're all around this.
I'm sorry, Balance of Terror.
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole scene. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I totally remember that episode because that's when doesn't the roof fall on the one guy?
Yeah.
Kirk needs to call the bridge.
Right now,
Kirk needs to call the bridge.
if you stand here and look this way, this is the auxiliary control. This is their aux controller. And we
Ended up picking up this T-shirt. It was $40, but the cost of admission to do the tour didn't cost anything. So I have no issue paying $40 to buy a shirt because that right there was almost a priceless experience going through there. So there's one other spot we got to go to that we were informed about.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but we'll take a little trip.
Yeah, it has to do with the family of the creator of Star Trek.
The great bird of the galaxy.
About a 20-minute commute over to Folkston, Georgia. This is the water tower. It is brisk. Train going by. A couple of the guys over at the neutral zone informed us to go over by the courthouse here. This is also interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen a fire hydrant that's actually in the road, not up on the curb. But Gene Roddenberry has some family ties over here. Different television franchise. Henry Roddenberry, son of George Roddenberry. So this would have been Gene Roddenberry's father?
Wouldn't it be his grandfather maybe?
His grandfather or great-grandfather? But we're assuming his great-grandfather. We're saying great-grandfather based on the age bracket?
I'm thinking great-grandfather based on the birth date of Henry here.
That's what I'm thinking. It's cold out here. I'm gonna end the video here. We had a good time. Show your shirt again. Appropriate t-shirt. I have, so you have a really appropriate t-shirt. I have a cat in a spacesuit. It's about the closest I thought. I used to have the Quark versus Gurn. Kirk versus, my lips are numb.
Captain Quark versus the Gurn.
I did have a Kirk versus Gorn shirt that I wore in my episode that I did Vasquez Rock filming locations of the Gorn episode. But now I just have a cat shirt and you have the Enterprise. But we did it. Yes, we did it.
Was that the most awesome thing
it was awesome
you've ever seen?
They're awesome there. The neutral zone. And now I gotta watch the new show that they filmed there, which they said this week, is it this week? 10 years ago they started filming.
They just started it. Yeah, it's the 10th anniversary of that first
Yeah.
episode.
It's cold. All right, check out Greg's game room. He filmed some stuff. He brought his little miniature Spock and Kirk figures. And I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over. That was a good chat there almost.